banana bread. Every time I say banana bread in my house, everybody goes crazy. In fact, I just had my daughter from New York on the phone. She goes, what do you mean you're making banana bread? That is my favorite. So you want some ripe bananas, and you're gonna take them and mash them up. So I'm just gonna put them in here. I mash with a fork. You can use a potato masher. I know some other companies have different mashing devices that they use. It calls for three or four medium. These are larger bananas. I only have two because my wonderful husband ate one for breakfast this morning, so they're just gonna have to deal. All right, so smash them up. You want it to look almost like baby food when you smash these all up together. So, it doesn't take long. The riper the bananas are, the quicker it is to smash them. Actually, and the riper they are, the more they release their sugars. Easier. You can also add some blueberries in here. You can make this a chocolate chip one by adding about fourth to half a cup of chocolate chips in here. Set blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, whatever you want. We just do a regular banana. I might get them saying, no, put chocolate chips in. We'll see what they do. They're kind of quiet right now, which is really weird. Okay, so we're gonna add the 1 egg in here. And it's kind of mashed up is what it looks like. Okay, 1 egg, 3/4 a cup of sugar. I use coconut sugar, lower in the glycemic index. Just doesn't release as quickly, but still sugar, so be careful if you need sugars. Oil, so 1/4 a cup, I use avocado oil. I have used coconut oil before. Just depends what you have in your pantry and what works best for you and your family. Okay, so we're gonna mix this up. You wanna get the sugars all incorporated. Yeah. It's funny because coconut sugar, when you use it, actually tastes more like a plant, is what it does. It'll be darker in color, right? But when it comes out, it's actually really sweet. It tastes just like sugar, or like something has been sugared. Okay, so got that all mixed up. Now I have put in here 1.5 cups. I use gluten-free flour because our family's gluten-free. You can use regular or whole wheat or whatever, float your boat. 1.5 cups not 1.5 cups, that'd be a lot. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 of baking soda, and then you can smell the cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. So dump it all in, make sure you get it all in there, especially since I took mixed it all together ahead of time. And then you're gonna mix this mixture together. Now don't overmix, that's a big thing with when you put flour in, that you do not wanna overmix, but you wanna incorporate. So a lot of folding goes on instead of the stirring is what you want, just to really incorporate it. And flour also likes to stick to the bottom. So keep folding, get nice and good and in there. And then I'm gonna show you a little trick. So I have already preheated the oven to 350 degrees. And listen, I'm a mom of 4. I did these videos back to back. I did them because I wanna do laundry, y'all. You know, you see all these YouTuber people and they're like, I must switch clothes and I must do different stuff. Nope, keeping it all in there. Keeping it real, y'all, keeping it real. You know, so when I bake, I have my hair up so I don't get hair in my food. All right, all incorporated, looks very doughy. I'm gonna put it aside and I'm gonna show you. So I have some parchment paper, pray that I have enough to show you this. Now you do want to spray the bottom. I use avocado spray, just so it doesn't go all around. Okay, so I'm gonna get something really quick. I'm actually gonna put this underneath so you can see it just a little more. There you go. All right, so you have this. You have this. So get the parchment paper out. Make it a little bit bigger. Then you're gonna take it and you're gonna push it down. Now, you see how it's all wrinkly like this? That's not necessarily what you want. It's not gonna spread evenly. And then it's, look, how do you get it in there, right? So here's what I do. I cut off the excess around the sides. Make sure you don't go too low. And then I take the corner and I go straight down to the bottom. Push it down the bottom, go straight down. Push the corner down, down, down. Push this down, go all the way down. Okay, so you're gonna see how this, then I can get in here and you see how it forms more, right? Let it go, it's still forming. When you put, now I usually cut some of the excess away. I'm a little anal about that. I don't know why, but just bothers me. When you put your dough in, it is going to hold it down a little better, and then you can cut even more of the excess away if you choose. If not, no big deal, right? So I'm gonna pour my very thick batter in here. My husband is not home, that's why it's so quiet. I have to leave some of the batter in here for him or he will cry like a baby. And then you're just gonna spread it out to the corners, right? Now, again, I hold it. The gluten-free does not, it sticks a little bit more to the parchment paper. Not that, it sticks when you're spreading, not when you pull the bread out. So by cutting the corners, it's just a little bit easier. And then I'm gonna cut some of the excess away just because it drives me bananas. And that's just like one of my OCD things, so. Leave this for my husband. Loves to like clean, eat the batters. Okay, so I'm just gonna go around and cut off the excess in the top. See off camera, I have to angle myself. All right, so here you go. So I cut it away and that's exactly what it looks like. Now, when you pop it out and it's all done cooking, you can just take it straight out. And I will show you that later. 350-degree oven for about 60 minutes. See you soon.